Welcome to Ken's Corner Podcast, Season 4.
Hey everyone, it's Ken from Ken's Corner, and we're back with the fan panel. Let's do a bit of a roll call. We got George out there in Calgary. Looks like you're outside, but how's it going, George?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I was heading for a workout and I had to stop and get on the podcast.
Well, I thank you for that. We got Joe looking all dapper up in his suit. How you doing, Mr. Moyer?
Doing very well, gents. Good to have you back on. It's a nice sunny day, but pretty chilly out there in Toronto.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know. I'm gonna feel that, as soon as we're done here, as I'm off to do some work for Whistle FM Radio to cover the Stovo Spirit, and hopefully we can come up with a big win today against the number 2 ranked in all of Canada, the Trenton Golden Hawks. It's going to be a task, but I'm rooting for our hometown boys. And we got Gord all the way from Scarborough. I love the background, Gord.
Yeah, that's my leaf blanket there on display. Yeah, it's a nice chilly -5 outside currently, and if you're an Eskimo, it's an absolute warm day.
Yeah.
I can handle it.
Okay, I'm going to do the raffle first, if you guys don't mind. All right, hopefully you can all hear this. Let's hit the button. We have number 10. Number 10. Number 10 is the winner.
I just wanted to say, if that's one of my numbers, I'm going to redonate it and you can spin it again.
Well, here's the funny part, George. The very last number, and this has happened now twice in the last two draws. It was our very last number purchased, and the name on it is Claudia. And this is a funny story. You guys actually might like this story. Her son is a Florida Panther diehard fan. Oh, I don't know what's going on with him, but she is a Toronto Maple Leaf diehard, and more so a William Nylander fan. So her son they just got back from Florida, as a fact, and they were down there seeing a Florida Panther game, and he got a jersey from his uncle, but apparently it goes to his right down to his knees, and the arms hang about 6 feet past his arms. So now the mom is going to be getting a nice fitted William Nylander jersey, because that's the one that she really wants. And she's going to be able to rub it in her Florida Panther son's face. How do you guys feel about that?
All right.
Congratulations,
anybody getting a William Nylander jersey is a good thing over a Florida Panthers jersey. Sorry, just that's the way I feel.
Yeah, I mean, she actually works right down below where I live, which is really funny as well. I'm going to go down there and play a trick on her and say, well, I am sorry to inform you. And then I'll say, but here, if you want, you'll see that your number was almost drawn. Then I'll show her the number, and then I'm sure she'll be quite happy. So, Claudia, congratulations. And that concludes our last draw for a while on the hockey jerseys. I thank everyone who was involved in helping us out and playing along. And you know what? I'm going to try and get some Ken's Corner hats made up, and maybe I'll try and pass them out and donate to the people who actually had a lot to do with helping these draws move along. All right, well, we're not going to spend too much time in that game last night between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Nashville Predators, because that was definitely a stinker. Our boys fell asleep after getting up 2-0. And we're going to start with you, Joe. Is it concerning with these 2-0 leads? I mean, Florida Panthers seem to be doing the same thing right now, getting up 2-0 and losing these games. What is your level of concern for that? And what do you think is happening in these games? Are we just falling asleep?
hey, was William Nylander even playing last night? I didn't really notice him. Yeah, it's that's what the Leafs have been doing all season. They string a couple of wins together, and you go, okay, you know what? I'm starting to believe they can do this, and then hey, Mail went in like last night against a team that was totally beatable and got off to a good start. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. If you guys have an answer for it, I'm sure Coach Berube is shaking his head, going, "I don't get it. Why we let our foot off the gas and let them come back at a team that doesn't scores 4 goals plus an empty netter on us. Totally frustrating."
Yeah. George is saying what Joe is saying, and you know what? I'm feeling the same way as him. I want to show you guys. I'm still the glass half full guy. My Maple Leafs are still glass half full, and I still believe. But it was a little concerning for me as well. I know I speak to George and probably Joe during the games and voice my concerns that aren't so glass half fullish. But George, you helping tempering me and keeping me grounded. And you know what? We're still tied for first place in the Atlantic Division. And we got some games that are very winnable right ahead of us. We have the Philadelphia Flyers. We have the Anaheim Ducks. We have the San Jose Sharks. What is your feelings moving forward? Are we going to be able to pile up some wins and maybe pull apart from Tampa Bay and Florida a bit?
Well, I mean, that would have been a good game to win. We would have been in first all alone. I'm saying that without them knowing that these are the facts, it might have helped. It might help them because I don't know. Maybe they should have been told a lot earlier. Hey, you have a chance to be in first. Keep the foot on the gas pedal. With the games coming ahead, I think there's possible. Well, like you said, it's possible that we can win, but playing these teams that we should win, and we're not winning is kind of concerning.
Okay, thank you. And Gord, this one's for you. Florida Panthers have been losing. We haven't seen the Rat playing in Florida yet, and who knows? Maybe that's going to be a little bit longer and stretch into that playoff time. Are you happy to see Florida continue to lose in the fashion that they are? They've been beaten by Boston. They've been beaten by, I don't know, help me out. The New York Islanders have come back on them. Just last night, the Washington Capitals. And you know what? We're going to get to it as well. We have to acknowledge Ovechkin getting really close to that record, but we'll get to that after. What's your level of happiness that Florida just seems to be hanging out with us?
Well, I think they're kind of in the same boat we are. I mean, Toronto, for some reason or another, every single year, the teams that are riding the bottom, that are about to get the number one draft pick, it's like they can be up to nothing, and then it's like it's nap time, and they nap for a period and a half, and all of a sudden they're in the middle of the third period and they're down. I can't explain it. I don't know where William Nylander went last night. Maybe he took a vacation. Um, but in terms of Florida losing, they're kind of in the exact same boat as Toronto, to be honest with you. I think the three teams that are there, us, Tampa Bay, and Florida, have all had the same process. We lose to the bottom teams. The teams that we should be beating, I mean, get up to nothing. The no goal, and it was like once that no goal happened, it's like the whole world just flipped, and Nashville got all the process going their way. It was like the Leafs just kind of fell apart at that point. I can't explain it. I am happy that Florida's losing. I'm happy that Tampa Bay is losing. The problem is Toronto's got to get back on that winning streak. Get a couple of games up on them to take first place.
Yeah. Joe, he brings up a great point. The Scott Lawton called back goal. That would have been his first as a Toronto Maple Leaf. What's your level of concern of his fact that we traded a first and Quebecan, and he is now playing on a left wing on the fourth line?
Yeah, I mean, that was even if they counted that goal, cheesy goal, and I don't think even he would say that was, I mean, it hit his stick, went in. I thought it was a high stick as well. Not how you want to get your first goal. I'm not too concerned about Lawton. I'm more concerned about the Leafs' third and fourth lines in particular. I mean, I don't put the Leafs in the same position as Tampa or as Florida, sorry. When you're missing Ekblad, Kachuk, and Marchand, they got a reason to go, okay, we're coasting our way into the playoffs right now. The Leafs, by all accounts, are healthy. So not in the same boat. You take away two top forwards and a defenseman for the Leafs, they'd be in the same boat as Florida. So uh, I think Florida either way is coasting, and I think once they get that boost in the playoffs with Marchand back, they're going to be a whole different animal. I think the Leafs got to figure out their third and fourth lines because that's where the game's going to be won. If you don't have a good third line that's going to be out there and compete and pop in with the odd goal, and I don't know. I mean, I like Pontus Holmberg, but is he the answer? You can't put him on the top six. Um, I want to ask you guys if you think Ryan Reeves is going to get a call up for the playoffs just to have him ready to go. What do you guys think about that as a fourth line move?
I don't see it happening, but I do see Max Pacioretty
Ah,
getting back into maybe in that top six. George, actually, we're seeing Bobby McMahon in the top six. What's your thoughts on the play of Bobby McMahon closing in on that 20-goal season?
Well, that I think is a good thing. I like McMahon. I like Knives. Two big power forwards that I think are going to be stars in the future. But with something being said there, I wouldn't mind seeing that Hockenpah actually start playing for us.
Yeah, Hockenpah, he's still in practice, but under the structure of our cap, he wouldn't be able to fit back in. I don't even think Max Pacioretty would be able to fit back in either. But you never know. Maybe we can see him in the playoffs because I don't know. Possibly Morgan Riley is regressing yet again, and we might need another partner for him in that third line pairing if OEL is going to play up with Carlo. Um, Saying that, oh, by the way, I want to use Bobby McMatthews, which is Paul Bissonnette's reference. I really like that one. Okay, we're going to talk about the Mitch Marner stuff that we were talking about earlier. And Gord, we're going to let you reference it first. Let's talk about what you were saying earlier about the Mitch Marner to Carolina
I,
Hurricanes.
I'm just going to state it. If Mitch Marner goes to free agency and signs in Carolina, he's going to be the most hated Maple Leaf when he comes back to town in a very, very long time. To waive your no trade to not go to them and then sign in free agency would be a big slap in the face to the organization, to your teammates here. And I don't see it happening. I think they will try and manage out a deal. I think it's just going to be they've got to figure out structure in terms of is this something that they can do because they're going to have to dump some coin somewhere and figure out where they're going to do it. That's going to be the problem. But I think if Mitch Marner signs in Carolina, as it has been reported, it'll be like an 8-year deal, the max deal. That's going to be crazy for Toronto fans, honestly. I think they'll go crazy.
Yeah. Joe, would you like to chime in on this?
well, I think nothing's going to be decided until we see how he performs in the playoffs. And if we're out in the first round and he has another lousy playoffs, guys, we can't bring him back. We can't roll out the same four guys. We got to take that money and spend it elsewhere. And heads will roll if the Leafs bow out in the first round. So it's up to him. If he has a good playoffs and contributes some points and is a factor and then signs at a reasonable deal, I think he comes back. We're not going to know till the playoffs, but we cannot go back with the same four guys again if we're out one and done again this year. I'd rather get 3 players at 6 million each than spend 14 to sign Mitch Marner when it's not working. We just can't. I love Mitch Marner, the player, but too many of the same guys. It's just not working. You need, great individuals, but as a team, if we keep losing in the first round, what are we doing?
By
That's
the
my
way,
thoughts.
I just love that shot from the face off last night, the pullback from Matthews, beating a very good face off man and Ryan O'Reilly and Marner shot. Wow. Where would that been if he had been doing that his whole career? He might have some more goals. George, I know you're a big Mitch Marner fan, but I'm going to offer this to you. Next year, well, I think John Tavares is probably going to be back in regardless. as long as the Leafs want him back, I think he wants to play for Toronto, and that I don't think will affect it. But if you had a choice and only one could be signed, who are you signing as a Toronto general manager, Mitch Marner or Matthew Nice?
No,
Whoosh. Well, I'm going to say Mitch Marner. And with all this talk about Mitch Marner being talked about going to Carolina, I just see this as gaslighting, and I don't see him going anywhere. That's a hard one.
I
Matthew
was gonna
Nice
say,
is up.
George, that puts you between a rock and a hard place,
Yeah,
buddy.
it
Yeah,
really did. That's
exactly.
what
That
I
really
Exactly.
does.
That's
That's a
really a
rock and a
hard
hard
one, man.
place question. Because
Yeah.
obviously you got
You
both
got
going
Matthew
on there.
Knives here. You got Matthew Knives here, and then you got
In all
a
fairness, George, I think we have enough to actually sign all three with the cap going up. Maybe we move off of Morgan Riley. Is that even a possibility?
no
yeah.
move clause.
Oh, there you go.
But if you offer him to be traded back to Vancouver or somewhere where he would like to go, Joe, with that, do you think
I would
Marner
have done
move?
that at Christmas time.
Well, he's said before there's only two teams he'll go to, and I think they're both on the West Coast, if I'm not mistaken. If the deal was
Who was the
ever
other team?
offered, I don't. He hasn't stated. Well, they haven't stated, but he definitely said it was a team on the West Coast. But
Could that
I
be
mean, if they,
Seattle?
it could be honestly.
His home is
I think if
Vancouver
you
in the off
Yeah.
season. That's where he
if you're
goes.
gonna move Morgan Riley and give some of these other guys a chance, you've got to sign either Matthew Nyes and Marner, or you've got to figure out what you're going to do because there's going to be cap space from Tavares, and then you got to figure out what you're going to do if you're going to move Morgan Riley and what you're getting in return.
Yeah. In all fairness, I think
Bring Riley to Calgary.
Yeah, I think Matthew Nyes is an RFA, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think
Restricted.
he would have to actually be offered
An offer sheet.
offer sheeted, which would actually bring us back up prospects or draft picks as well as in a sign and trade or a straight up draft pick. I think we would get something in return for him, regardless what happens with him. Thanks for playing along with that, George. I know that was a tough one to ask
Thanks,
you.
Ken. Thanks,
All right.
Ken.
You know what? I'm going to let everyone go here pretty quickly today. So let's get our game time predictions, and we'll start with you, Gord. Toronto versus the Philadelphia Flyers. And tell me, yes or no, will Scott Laughton score in that game?
I think he will score in the game. I don't think it's going to be a cheesy goal like the no call. I think Brewery's going to either light a fire under these guys and get them coming out flying. What they need to do is come out flying like they did against Colorado, play that Colorado game all the time. I think that was almost like a Stanley Cup game winning. They had to win that game to win the cup, and that's what they need to play with these last games. I think Toronto will beat Philadelphia tonight, just to piss off John Tortorella one more time, so he has another reason to hate on Toronto. I'm gonna go 4-2 final.
Awesome, thank you. And you're right. You are right about that. We need to bring that level of intensity to every game because that was a statement game for Toronto, and maybe our guys were just a little tired on the Saturday game. I'll give them that. Our goaltending is up and down. Joe, I'm going to let you speak on that as you give us your prediction as well.
Well, I mean, that's been the Leafs' challenge all year is consistency and trying to put together 60 minutes and then a string of games. And they have played down to their opponent, and they do seem to get up. I mean, they've beat Tampa Bay a couple of times. They beat Colorado. They beat Winnipeg this year. So they have the ability to be there when they're in the right mindset. It's just a matter of getting that game in and game out. And this string of games against San Jose and Philadelphia, they kind of worry me. These are ones that the Leafs can't let go. But if history's any indication, these are ones that you got to be worried about because these are the ones where they may just take the foot off the gas and lose a close one. That being said, I do think Lawton will pop one in, and I think the Leafs will just edge this one out, maybe 3-2.
Thank you. And George, you get the last prediction and your thoughts on Scott Laughton.
Well, I'm with Joe and Gord. I think Lawton scores, and that would be excellent. And I'm saying a 5-3 win, Toronto.
Yes, thank you. And you know what? I'm going to throw mine in as well. I also want to point out, I guess I didn't say this part, Anthony Stolarz will play his game against his former team, the Philadelphia Flyers, as well. And I'm sure he's going to have some family in the arena because he's from nearby New Jersey. So I am going to go open net goal. So 4-2. And you know what? I'm right on board. And that's why I asked the question, because I felt really bad about that Lawton goal getting called back. I think he needs one. And I've seen him score for the Oshawa Generals and in the way that this guy can play at a young age. And he does have 11 goals this season. So if that's going to be our fourth liner, then that's not bad as a fourth liner, 11 goal scorer. Yes, 4-2 Toronto. And thank you so much, guys, for all coming on. And I'm going to let you all go so you can get back
Ken.
to your lives and jobs.
Hey, Ken, you know, it would be really interesting if Lawton scores and Domi and Robertson can pot a couple and, give the big guys the night off.
Yeah, that would be great. I believe Domi's played a lot better. Thanks for bringing up his name. And
They had the night off last night against
Yeah, I was just
Nashville.
gonna say
No,
that, Joe.
I don't mean
I
it
was
that
just gonna
as.
say that, Joe. They've had a couple of nights off.
well, the whole team has had a couple of nights off, but you're going to find that in an 82 game season. And you know what? It
Yeah,
might
but
even
these
get
guys are
thicker.
making 10 plus bones a year, guys. 10, 11, 12, 13 million.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what, though? I do want to talk for 1 second. Have you guys heard the rumor that we're going to a 34 team league? That
Yes.
Atlanta,
Yes.
of all teams, Atlanta is coming back in. And now
Love
the
it.
Houston is coming in. Are they going to be called the Houston Arrows? Are we getting ridiculous with this? What do you guys think on your last thought?
He doesn't. Batman doesn't want to bring the team back to Quebec, so he's going to keep everything south of the border and south as far as he can.
Let's go.
Honestly, I'm not sure how much more he can do in the southern region of the states currently. But I mean, if they're going to expand, it's going to cause even more issues overall. He's going to have to change the playoff format again.
And we'll have to go to 84 games just to accommodate it.
And he's going to have to change the playoff format. He's going to have to change the divisions. What are we going back to?
Gord,
8 divisions?
he said he will not change the playoff formats, that he likes them. So
he might like it, but how many teams are you going to be pushing out at the bottom? Their owners are going to be crying out the blues constantly.
It's going to look like Major League Baseball in the early 1900s. George on new team.
Utah Deserts, or let's give it to Saskatchewan Miles.
There you go. And Joe, your thoughts on something like that?
Well, more teams means more money in the pockets. That's why the salary cap's going up. That's all going to help, and it's U.S. dollars as well. And under the current state, I think you can rest assured Canada's not going to be getting a sniff, because that's going to be a concern with these tariffs and stuff. So, yeah, I like the Atlanta Flames. I love their logo back in the day. I guess they won't be called that now. I didn't like the Thrashers kind of setup. I don't know if they'll go back to that or not. But Houston Arrows, I'd be okay with that in honor of the Howe family.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually like the Houston idea, but I'm not too up on a third strike for Atlanta. But
if they do the way they did the Atlanta Flames, it'll be great. If they did it the way they did the Thrashers,
they couldn't use that name.
No, I mean the style of the way that they structured the organization.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If they do it the way they did the Thrashers, they'll be out of there in 2-3 years, and
we'll be City.
and that team will be winning the cup next when they move again, and we'll be talking about that next.
Either that or season 1 of Houston Arrows, the Houston Arrows, the NHL champions, and at least still haven't won a cup in 100 excuse my language, 100 years.
You better get your editor to bleep that out, Ken.
Yeah, bleep. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Let's do a roll call. We got George out there in sunny, balmy Calgary. Not looking too sunny today, George. Thank you.
No, not too bad.
Us. Go work out and get all big. Joe Moyer coming to us from here in Stouffville. Thank you, Mr. Moyer. And Gord from Scarborough. Love the background. Gord, go, Leafs, go. Let's reconvene next week, and we'll see if we can pull some more of our guys back to the fan panel from our long-term injury reserve list, namely JT and Ian would be nice to see back before the end.
Yeah, let's hope both of them get better.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we'll try and get Paul Hendrick back on here closer to playoff time. Just once we're set in for the playoffs and we know who we're going to play. And we'll have Mr. Hendrick back on to join us. It's always fun. Okay, guys, thank you so much. My name is Ken. We're here on Ken's Corner, the Leaf Fan Panel.
Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.